remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcoming you back to appointment day at the Martinez house. Raul Martinez looking stressed about scheduling a colon cancer screening. But he just pledged to get screened.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
You know, with our players, they've been very receptive to everything we've asked them to do. They've trained extremely hard. As I said, the personal achievements between their strength, their speed, their explosiveness, all the different body fat percentages, all different things that we measure is in the high 90% range. I mean, there's only a couple guys that haven't, had the improvement, but really it's been pretty much the whole team. So as a coach, it's fun. It's fun to see players get better.
It's the Adam Gold Show. What's up? I am Adam Gold. That is Victoria.
It's Thursday. I don't have a name for it.
No, there's no name for it.
Pre-Friday.
Yeah, it is. Friday Eve.
Mm-hmm.
That was Bill Belichick. We're actually going to talk a little bit about Bill Belichick coming up later this hour. Adam Smith inside Carolina. It's been a minute.
I know.
Been a minute.
It was nice to catch up with him at the ACC kickoff. I was like, where you been, buddy?
Fine gentleman.
Yes.
He will, his story, I mentioned this yesterday. His story was at the forefront of I'm just going to call it a fake news item about North Carolina leaving for the SEC. Wasn't his fault. It wasn't inside Carolina's fault. It was not their choice to sensationalize the item, as I believe On3 did, which is fine. This is what we do now. Man, the more I cover sports, the more I think the hockey media is culpable in this. The overall hockey media. The international soccer media, they're the worst at it. The worst at it. In terms of just drumming up rumor interest. But college football is right there. And the story was, when the next round of conference realignment hits, likely 2030, North Carolina will pursue a move to the SEC. Or it wasn't said will do it. Reports are that they will, which, it's kind of couched all of that. And my response to that is, duh.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody will be exploring options when we get to 2030. I will say that if you were making a list of ACC schools that would be attractive to either the SEC or the Big Ten, and I would argue it would be more likely that North Carolina would end up in the Big Ten than the SEC. I think North Carolina would be at the top of the ACC list, ahead of Clemson, by a lot. And especially if you're talking about the Big Ten. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I think North Carolina, for many, many reasons, would be the top choice for both leagues. But that doesn't mean that they should do it, that they would do it, that it would even be a possibility. That also doesn't even take into account, what are we going to even look like by 2030?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's nobody that could give you a good idea. I think we are more likely to look exactly as we are than we are to be some different version of what we are. And I think both of those things are unlikely. I think we are most likely to see something drastically different when we get to there, if for no other reason than we simply must avoid massive litigation at all times. Because if you're following sports news as it pertains to college today, the College Sports Commission, which was is the brand new entity formed by, I'll just say the NCAA, but I'm not exactly sure if it's the Power Four or the NCAA, whatever it is. That is the commission that is meant to essentially rein in all of the activity, the financial activity that isn't schools giving revenue-sharing payments to athletes. Well, they've been all over the map in terms of what's allowable, what's not allowable, and they've produced a further revision today, which, depending on who you read, some people say becomes more lenient. I prefer to think of it as, no, I don't think they really changed anything. They're basically not redefining, they're re-emphasizing that if anything the athlete gets from a third party, from a collective, well, actually, I shouldn't say from a third party, because a third party could be a direct company. But anything the athlete gets from a collective, it has to be proven that two things are satisfied. One, that the endorsement that you do, again, this is through a collective, is for a for-profit entity that would be available to the general public. So my guess is it couldn't be like a construction firm. Joe's Contractors, they build storage facilities. They don't build them like for a company. They build them for anybody. So you can't just go and buy a Joe's storage facility. They produce them for, companies that have these things. My guess is, based on what I'm reading, is that an athlete through a collective, if Joe's Contracting contributes money to Lone Wolf, is Lone Wolf an NC State collective? I believe they are, or whatever it is. Lone Wolf might not be the right thing. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. If they contribute to an NC State collective, NC State, if the collective has a player at State that they're going to funnel money to in exchange for endorsement work of Joe's Contracting, if that is not available to the general public, it will be flagged and denied by the College Sports Commission. So it must be a product that anybody can buy. Gum, I don't know, tobacco. No, actually, maybe tobacco might not be involved. Might not be allowed at all.
Shoes.
Okay, shoes. Right? Anything like that. And it must be of reasonable, fair market value. So if you have 1 million followers on TikTok, or let's not use 1 million. Let's say 100,000 followers on TikTok. The company can't give you $5 million. The collective can't give you $5 million, or it would have to be through a collective, in exchange for social media posts. It has to be what they determine fair market value. Good luck determining that. That will be a problem. So those things right now are in writing, and here's what it sounds like to me. I'm not an attorney, but we do speak to them on more than irregular occasions, and I consult with them privately to say, hey, this sounds to me like it's anti-collective activity. And across the board, they're trying to discourage collectives from acting the way they used to, which I get it. We don't want a system that is pay for play, except What is it exactly that the universities are doing? I am curious here. The revenue sharing payments that the universities are doing right now, isn't that pay for play? They don't have to show that they're doing, I don't know, social media posts on behalf of the athletic department. So what exactly, that to me sounds like pay for play. So, which by the way, has a cap on what athletes can earn. File that away for a second. So there's those two criteria that must be met for an NIL deal with an athlete to be considered okay and approved. Who knows how long that takes. And then there's this notion that the CSC, College Sports Commission, is really actively trying to diminish the role of collectives. And for my money, that just further emphasizes a cap on earnings to players, which will end up in court. Promise, full stop, will end up in court. We'll have several levels before we get to an actual antitrust case, but we're going to be, that's why I keep referring to this as the litigation era, not as the revenue sharing era, because we are going to have litigation. One more thing before we start. You'll hear from Dave Doran and Mike Tomlin, among others, as we start this procedure. Today is baseball's trade deadline. We're going to talk to Elliot Johnson in hour number 2. Today is the 21-year anniversary of arguably the most daring trade in Major League Baseball history. Nomar Garciaparra was traded from the Red Sox to the Cubs. It was actually a 4-team deal, I believe. Red Sox to the Cubs on this date in 2004. And Garciaparra was one of the best players in Major League Baseball at the time. Literally a star for one of the heritage franchises, the Red Sox. And he was traded basically for 2, journeyman isn't the right word, but just 2 squad players. Orlando Cabrera, who was a good shortstop, but certainly not a great one. And what amounted to a defensive replacement first baseman, Doug Minkiewicz, who, by the way, played at Florida State. He was a first baseman at Florida State. And Minkiewicz wasn't really a starter for Boston. They got a starting shortstop to replace Garciaparra, but really more of a solid player and a late-inning defensive first baseman replacement. That's what they got for one of the best players in baseball. And it worked. Boston became better after that trade. It really is the most, can I say ballsy?
Yeah, sure,
yes.
Why not?
That trade, the likes of which we had not seen before and after, by a contending team. It goes the other way often. Teams will trade stars for prospects or, spare parts. And most of the time it doesn't work out. But the Red Sox, in contention, did it the other way, and it worked. It absolutely worked. Not that Cabrera was a great player for them. He was good. Minkiewicz was not a great player for Boston. Served his purpose. And it really isn't an addition by subtraction thing, except it sort of worked out that way. And again, the 2004 Red Sox team is historic because it was the first team ever to fall behind 3-0 in a best-of-7 series in baseball and rally to win. There's a Netflix 2-part documentary on that team, if anybody is interested, but the people who are interested have already seen it. and Yankee fans have canceled their Netflix subscription as a result. It's pretty well done, by the way, that thing. All right, should we start? We should start.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Victoria, are you eagerly looking forward to what the Cubs may do? They already added a pitcher.
They have.
Mike Soroka.
They have. And they've actually added a different Andrew from... Oh, I just saw it right before the show, so I'll have to look it up. It's Andrew something from Baltimore.
Andrew from Baltimore, you're on the air.
Exactly.
With the Chicago Cubs.
Exactly.
Very nice. We'll be taking calls from Andrews in Baltimore anytime. All right, so I already told you about the CSC stuff. That's one of those things that I'm into that most college football fans are like, just play. Can we play? Can we please kick a ball off? All right, so let's do that. I did talk to Dave Doran and others at ACC Football Kickoff about the fact that they've got 2 new coordinators this year. Here's Dave Doran on that.
You know, in my tenure here, I've had several new coordinators. So, you know, and I look at Kurt differently maybe than the outside world does because I've been with him for so long. I mean, he knows our players, he knows our terminology and how he wants to change it. He has relationships built. So, you know, offensively, it's not the same as bringing in a new face that knows nobody in that locker room. On defense, obviously, different conversation. Now, for me, I've known DJ a long time, so I knew kind of what he was going to be about. There's a lot of new faces, you know, because we had graduations and guys leave. So there is an evolution over there. From a schematic standpoint and personnel. And so it's a opportunity is how I look at it more than a challenge. You know, I'm excited for the players because they're getting to learn new things. And, you know, we've had different times throughout my tenure where we've changed, and in each of those changes it's helped us. So looking forward to that.
That's Dave Doran talking about Kurt Roper and DJ Elliott, the new defensive coordinator, and that, of course, is Tony Gibson leaving to become the head coach at Marshall, and Gibson was great. Last year was not a good year, obviously, but he has been an incredible defensive coordinator for NC State. Hollywood Smothers, running back who got actually they announced the all ACC preseason teams. I know I think it was yesterday they unveiled the preseason conference predictions in terms of standings. Shocker, Clemson overwhelmingly picked to win it. Miami second, SMU third. I think it was Georgia Tech fourth and Louisville fifth. I actually think that was my order. And I had Duke sixth, by the way, and I think Duke... They
do, too.
Duke also came sixth. So if we get the teams today, we'll let you know what they are. I think Hollywood Smothers could have a very, very big year at NC State, and he is looking forward to game one.
100%. Just not only the season opener, like all season, of course. Like the standard, like won the standard last year, like a lot of things went wrong, and not the things we wanted them to go, like the ways that we wanted them to go. So I feel like the first game definitely like show like how we're attacking this season, like with a different plan, and like we're doing way better. Like we're way more ahead than we were last year. Like so, I think we get to showcase what we're about like next year, going into next season.
They have the ACC media has them at number 10.
Yep, they have Carolina I think at 8, and NC State at 10.
Yes.
By the way, I've heard from more than one person regarding both of these schools that they think North Carolina could be a dark horse, not to win it, but maybe push for an ACC championship game spot based on the schedule. But I think there's more excitement over the personnel at NC State. It really does depend on what CJ Bailey is.
Yeah.
All of the other personnel, especially skill position, looks like it's pretty good for the Wolfpack. And Justin Jolie will likely be first-team tight end. I think he's second or third team All-America preseason at tight end, so he should be pretty good in the league, right? So there is optimism really for all three local schools. Real quick, schedule, because you know how I obsess over schedules, non-conference and otherwise, because I know it's going to sound weird, but who you play matters. It just does. Who you play matters.
It's a thing.
And there's a lot of ways to look at it. You know, in terms of big picture, I like to say, how many games could you lose, legitimately lose? And I'm not talking about, you can lose any game. Any team can lose any game. But how many games do you go in going, man, I hope we win this one? And, so that's maybe a different way of looking at it. But in terms of non-conference schedules, the stuff that you control, there are 10 teams in the highest division of college football, FBS division. There are 10 schools that play none Power 4 conferences, Power 4 teams outside of their conference. As it turns out, this is not a surprise. 6 of them are in the Big Ten. Yeah, including Penn State. Congratulations. By the way, Washington, you don't get a break here either. You are a potential, maybe I think Chip Patterson called him a little bit of a dark horse to maybe push yesterday. Washington also doesn't have a non-conference game against a Power 4 school. Indiana, Maryland, Northwestern, Penn State, Rutgers, Washington play 0 Power 4 opponents outside of the league. Granted, they play 9 teams within your conference schedule. Not really an excuse. Wake Forest is the only ACC school without a non-conference game against a Power 4 opponent. Ole Miss, the only SEC team in that same boat. And, of course, Wake canceled the second half of their series with Ole Miss after getting drubbed by them last year. Lane Kiffin was mad, and it puts Ole Miss in this position. But let's be honest, having Wake scrubbed from your schedule, you could replace it. There was a time, by the way, where Duke was embroiled in a bit of a lawsuit with Louisville, who was not in the league at the time, when Duke canceled a non-conference series with the Cardinals, and Duke actually argued that a replacement game, a replacement-level team, could be found super easy that would be a better opponent for Louisville. Duke argued that. Hysterical. In the Big 12, Houston and Texas Tech also 0. There are 11 schools that play 2 non-conference opponents in the Power 4. 11 of them. I'm going to give you, Victoria, one guess. They all come from one conference. What do you think that conference is named?
Oh, well, can't be ACC.
Yes! All 11.
Oh, my gosh.
All 11.
Wow. What are we doing?
You can't make the right.
What are we
right. Why? Why are you doing this? But I'm going to take a positive. Take the positive here.
Silver lining.
And I'm going to say, you go, guys. You go show them. Better show them. Better show them.
Please.
That is amazing. What's even more amazing that in an ESPN article highlighting this, they don't go, amazingly enough, every one of these schools is in the ACC. Clemson plays preseason-wise 2 non-conference games against teams in the top 13. LSU is number 6 in the opener. South Carolina right now 13th, and that will be the season ender for the Clemson Tigers. BC, Florida State, Miami, NC State. Miami's got Notre Dame and Florida in the first 3 games. There you go. State, Carolina, Pitt, SMU, Syracuse, Stanford, Virginia Tech, and, of course, Clemson. All right, real quick to the NFL. So it seems to be Chris Canty's, goal in life.
Yeah, it's his hill now.
To set the Carolina Panthers up for failure.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that they will fail based on what Chris Canty says. Is not about it. But Chris Canty sees something. He and Michelle Smallman were talking about Bryce Young and 3 letters in the same conversation.
Bryce Young. Ooh. Y'all know I've been riding this Carolina Panthers train heavy But listen, I'm bullish on the Panthers. Dave Canales going into year 2 because of what I saw in the second half of year 1. Last year, since week 10, the Carolina Panthers played in 4 overtime games. They won 3 of them. They pushed the Kansas City Chiefs to the limit and lost on a last-second field goal. They won 4 of their final 9 games. Bryce Young, during that span, 17 total touchdowns to 3 interceptions. This offseason, the Carolina Panthers were focused on being able to get him yet another weapon. They got Ted McMillan out of Arizona, a big-body target, a guy that goes about 6'5", 210 pounds. Think Drake London-esque. That's kind of the mold that Ted McMillan is in. And they get to pair him with 2024 first-round draft pick Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. That guy goes about 6'3", 225. So you got an NBA front court playing wide receiver for Bryce Young. That paired with an offensive line that's ever improving, anchored by Ike Ekwonu. And I just believe that the Carolina Panthers have all the makings of a team that is going to surprise a lot of people and end up in the postseason. If that ends up happening, Dave Canales will be a Coach of the Year candidate, and Bryce Young will absolutely be in the MVP conversation.
If that happens, I think you can remove candidate after Dave Canales will be a Coach of the Year.
So if the Carolina Panthers win the NFC South, Dave Canales is Coach of the Year?
If they win the division and we're talking about Bryce Young MVP, yeah. I think that Dave Canales will easily be the Coach of the Year.
Wow. My head hurts now.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Look.
I love his enthusiasm.
I do too.
And I want to be there with him, but sometimes Chris Canty doesn't have the best takes.
Right.
And it's difficult for me.
Steve Logan, friend of this program, former East Carolina head coach, used to host for us as well on weekends. He used to spend an entire show ripping all of the preseason prognostications because it's those expectations that set fans up to get angry when a school or a team that doesn't necessarily perform to those expectations ever, when they fall short of them again, maybe it's because those expectations should not have been there. We'll talk about this later. Is Carolina's defense going to be that much better? It will be better. Will it be that much better than it was a year ago?
I hope so. But
okay, because that's going to determine whether or not the Panthers win the division. Adam Smith, inside Carolina, on the Bill Belichick era, and is the clock ticking for a move to the Southeastern Conference? I kid. But we'll talk about it with Adam Smith next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
How about a little taste of NFL football? The Pro Football Hall of Fame game. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Herbert throws it in the air. Catch made. McConkey takes it all the way for the touchdown. 86 yards.
Detroit.
Jamison Williams gets a block. Breaks a tackle 20. Staggers to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Touchdown Detroit.
Tonight at 8 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. there's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL-TV's 11 o'clock news.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This is Adam Gold.
You know, soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Hope your Thursday is going well. My Thursday just got rosier because we are about to talk UNC matters, not just football, with the one and only Adam Smith of Inside Carolina. I missed him at ACC Football kickoff because he was in charge of, I guess, covering the media onslaught that was always going to follow Bill Belichick. I've been saying this since he was hired back whenever that was, December, I think it was, that this will be the most attention ever given to a college football program throughout the season, and it doesn't matter what they do on the field. Adam Smith, Inside Carolina, joins us. How are you, sir? I missed you Thursday in Charlotte. Hope you survived.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry I missed you. It's great to be with you again. Always, AG. Yeah, I was lurking around there, different spots.
Lurking behind potted plants at the Hilton, right?
Yeah, I had to laugh. One of the old-time ACC photographers said during just all that, I don't know what you would call it, hysteria.
Yeah.
He said, "It's like the goddamn royal wedding, isn't it?" Because he was lined up, in the hallway just to film Belichick going from one room to another.
I know.
And I had to stop and laugh as I was scurrying around because, yeah, I know. We've got video of him walking. We've got photos of him walking and smiling.
What did you make? Adam Smith from Inside Carolina is joining us here in the Adam Gold Show. What did you make of, like, most of his answers were vintage Belichick. What did you make of really the Q&As that we heard down there?
Well, I mean, it I felt like it was pretty much it went pretty much as you might expect.
Yeah.
I mean, Belichickian is a word that I've used before. He will. It's interesting the especially for someone like me who's sort of in on the ground floor with this. It's interesting to sort of try to get to know him from a reporter standpoint, given all that you know about him and his reputation and all that. I actually asked him down there in Charlotte how he introduces himself to people.
I heard that question. I enjoyed that answer. I mean? Yeah.
Because everyone already knows and everybody already has but he will answer a question if you ask him. It is just going to be in his very Bill Belichick style. It is not going to contain a huge range of emotion. It's going to be in that, what would you say, monotone type way. But he will give you an answer. You just kind of have to listen. It's not going to be theatrical like Mac Brown. It's going to be very different. Everything is very different, as you're very well aware.
Yeah, it's funny talking to the players about that. You could tell that they, like the guys that we talked to, they went from Grandpa Mac, and I'm not being disparaging at all to anybody. Sure. And by the way, I'll backtrack with the first question in a second. To what they're dealing with right now, which is Bill Belichick, pro coach, has seen everything that there is to see in the sport, and a very business-like approach to what is going on. They have really gone from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I think it'll be interesting and fascinating to figure out how all of these guys respond to it. I would imagine Steve Logan used to talk about NFL football as like grad school to a lot of these guys, because these guys want to learn. It'll be cool to watch a lot of these college kids and how they absorb the institutional knowledge that Belichick has.
Yeah, and the recruits too, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hilarious to see him posing with the recruits. If you think about it, it's still mind blowing, even though we're 8 or 9 months into this thing. And I mean, you're talking about. I mean, the man has coached nearly 50 years on the NFL level, but he's never coached a college football game.
Right.
He think about all the things he's done: the 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as an assistant. I think it's 333 career wins in the NFL.
Yeah.
Still, come Labor Day night, it will be the first time he has coached a college football game. So, I was telling Victoria I need to get my mind right. I've got to buckle up for this because it's coming here. I mean, training camp starts Saturday morning.
Yep.
So we'll be off and running.
Yeah, and the first game is, 3 weeks from Monday, right? No, 4 weeks from Monday. The first game.
September 1st, Labor Day night.
Yeah, against TCU. Adam Smith from Inside Carolina is joining us here in the Adam Gold Show. By the way, all the stuff about Belichick down in Charlotte, I had zero problem with. You have to ask, when you're asking Belichick a question, and you get, honestly, it's the same way with a guy like Mike Krzyzewski. You know that very well. If the question is not asked in a certain way, you allow 2 things. One, you allow him to not answer it. And right, I mean, that's just true. You just allow them to not answer it. Or you allow them to answer it in a way that doesn't get you what you want. There was a question in that same scrum when you asked about how do you introduce yourself, which is a sneaky, brilliant question, to be honest, because everybody knows who Bill is. But there was a question asked about, what your vision of the future is. I get what my assumed intent was to all right, what do you see 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road? What are you looking for to get there? But the answer was, future for us is, tomorrow's training. And frankly, nobody wanted that.
Go ahead. Right. He said, I think the question was, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? And I was thinking, good God, he'll be 83. But his response was, I don't know where we'll be 10 days from now. But that's the company line: tough, smart, dependable. It's going to be about stacking good days after good days after good days on top of each other.
Right.
And that's what's going to be. Whether he's in a suit as he was with the little BB initials.
Nice.
Stenciled. So what is it? It's stenciled there on the cufflink area.
Embroidered.
Embroidered.
Yeah, I don't think it's stencil. I don't think it's a stencil.
Well, you can tell the way I live and dress.
For you and me, it would be a stencil. For him, it's an embroidered thing.
I appreciate you helping me out. Yes, it was embroidery, AG, is what it was. And, whether he's got the power suit on or whether he's got the cutoff hoodie on,
yeah.
That is what it's going to be. I'm not sure what a fiery locker room speech from Bill Belichick would look like. Right. I would be interested to know if anybody, like players or anybody else, would give us any insights on that. I do not know. But, the players do like to tell you, the ones that we've been able to talk to, because they've got the ranks closed around there. It's not nearly as open as it was. But they like to tell you that he will slip in a little joke every now and then. Like Jordan Shipp, the receiver, tripped one day, and apparently Belichick told him the grass had tackled him, and everybody just erupted just because you're not expecting him to zing you.
Right.
It's different. I think it's Mac. Mac is 8 months older than Bill, but it's a completely different vibe, obviously.
Adam Smith, Inside Carolina, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Now to the story that has gripped the world since I saw the aggregation of it Friday. I guess it was Thursday afternoon as I was on the train headed back toward Raleigh. And it was your story that the university, when the next round of conference realignment happens, which probably in about 5 years, coincidentally, the time where it becomes super cheap to leave the ACC based on the settlement of the lawsuit with Clemson and Florida State, that you guys said that North Carolina would pursue a move to the Southeastern Conference. Of course, SEC has to be interested in all of that. I know you're not surprised by the reaction around the sports world. Some people thought it was going to happen this week, and I'm like, you people are nuts. Just read the article. That's all you had to do was read it. But is it any different than it was, say, a year ago?
Well, yes is the answer, and super cheap. I love your use of super cheap, about like my stenciling. $75 million being super cheap on the exit fee.
To universities, they can raise that in a minute.
I mean, here's the thing, and I know some people. UNC has been sort of, if you're paying attention, they've been sort of telegraphing this for a couple years now. But to answer your question, yes, it is different now because that settlement that Clemson and FSU reached with the ACC, or the ACC reached with them, however you view it, it has provided UNC with a path, a clearer path in terms of a way to get out if they want to get out. And I don't think I think this is going to be a very emotional decision for some people around there that make these decisions. Because, I mean, as you very well know, Carolina is a founding member of the ACC. They were there in 1953 in the smoke-filled room at Sedgefield Inn.
Right.
When the lore began. But the settlement is huge. They've sort of allowed, this is my opinion, they've sort of allowed Clemson and FSU to make the most noise and sort of make a mess of everything. Mm-hmm. And they have, in my opinion, sort of been sitting back and just, clocking the whole thing and taking notes and formulating some ideas here. And the fact that the grant of rights, the media deal that John Swofford, as you know, locked in years ago, that has been viewed as ironclad is always the word you hear about it. The fact that has gone away is huge. I think Florida State estimated when these dueling lawsuits and all the legal stuff began, I'm pretty sure they estimated that it would cost them $530 million to leave the league. Well, that's not going to be the cost anymore. It's going to go down. It's a decreasing exit fee. You know, if you left in this coming school year, which no one is going to do, it'd be $165 million. Yeah. It goes down $18 million every year. So I think if you're talking about we're last day of July 2025. If you're talking about July 2024, things have changed. And it's all about the money. I mean, I got my neighbors around here, you know, ask me, like, why? You know, I don't want that. And it's all about the money. It's all about the money. You know, Mac used to have a great line. He used to have a great line that he would tell the people close to him that the faculty at UNC, the academics, would prefer to go to the Big Ten.
Yep.
And all of the fans would prefer to go to the SEC, which I always thought was interesting.
Until you get there,
I don't know.
Yeah, until you get to the SEC and you go 2-8 in league play when they go to 10 games. That we have a lot more to talk about, Mr. Smith. Good to have you back on the show. You have almost, I think you're just too short of Victoria's underscores in her Twitter. It's at Adam_Smith_IC. Don't know if that's a Victoria influence or not, but if it
How
is,
could it not be?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Good to talk to you, my man. I'll check in again soon.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Adam Smith from Inside Carolina. Always a fun conversation. I've got one thought about SEC/Big Ten, and then we will do one-timers next.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Adventure affordably with a membership to the North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens, open year-round. Your membership purchase helps save wildlife in wild places, plus activates valuable perks such as guided tour and gift shop discounts and access to member-only events and picnic areas. Best of all, your North Carolina Zoo membership is recognized by over 150 zoos and aquariums nationwide, so you can take your savings on the road. Learn more about this unique investment at nczoo.org.
Your child's doctor shares your goals, a healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most, your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
As the health director in Haywood County and a nurse here in North Carolina, I can tell you that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline saves lives.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available.
988 Lifeline counselors are ready 24/7 to speak with you, help you cope, and get you connected to the support that is right for you.
988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Adam Gold.
There will be tushes pushed in the NFL in 2025.
Pushing tushes.
There you go.
Happy Hump Day!
That's brilliant.
The Adam Gold Show.
I've commented on this before. It's the Adam Gold Show. I snorted during that promo.
I know. It's the best one.
Yeah, it is. YouTube, go there, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. You find us. You can comment in the chat, which I know we'll use some of those for one-timers in a second. You could just comment on the show. Or you could just watch it. You don't have to do anything. We don't ask anything of you other than just, be here.
Yeah.
Now have a number 2 pencil.
Like Jay Gore, it was funny when we had the Canty clip, and
Yeah.
he was all in on Bryce. He was like, we're going to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl. That's
exactly.
kind of how it felt, too.
Yep, exactly. Real quick, before we get to one-timers, and we thank Adam Smith for coming on the program, Lee Roberts, the chancellor of UNC, actually said, he was either today or yesterday, commenting about how great the ACC is, and they're a heritage member, they're a founding member of the league, and it's been more than 70 years. Blah 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 blah. But at the next sentence was, as I've always said, we'll do what's ever best for UNC. So look, financially speaking, unless North Carolina realizes the same gains that Clemson or Florida State or Miami may glean from the league in terms of elevated, revenue to keep it within the ballpark of the Southeastern Conference and Big Ten, then, of course, North Carolina is going to look at leaving for greener pastures. I would point out that Maryland, another founding member of the league, left, and I'm sure the 15th and the first and last day of the month are pretty good in College Park, but man, Saturdays ain't good, and basketball has been sporadic at best, and they have no rivalries. Zero. So, be careful what you wish for. With all that said, if I were Carolina, Big Ten is a much better spot than the SEC. Not even close. A, more money in the Big Ten. B, less chance of you getting pummeled into the ground every single Saturday. With that said, one-timers.
Okay, let's see. First up, from our YouTube stream, good friend of the show, Chef Wolf. He loves to throw shade. He's a Brewers fan, so I should probably preface all of this stuff. So, what are y'all's thoughts on the deadline and the Milwaukee Brewers having a one-game lead in the NL Central going into the deadline?
Why don't you answer that question?
Since we won yesterday.
You're a fan of the NL Central.
I am. I'm a big fan of it. It's all right. Still season left.
Yeah, and the truth is, Cubs are going to make the playoffs.
Right.
And unless you're a top 2 seed and you get a bye, which again, I'd argue that it might not be that big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then just get in the playoffs, and then you got a shot.
Right.
And by the way, the National League, oh boy.
Yeah.
Padres are loading up. We're going to talk to Elliot Johnson about this next hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I figured out it's Andrew Kittredge. He was coming from the minors, so
Gotcha.
he's a right-handed pitcher. But anyway, that's okay. We need pitching.
Andrew.
We need
Bring
Andrew.
in Andrew.
Right-handed pitches from Baltimore, the minor league.
Get Andrew ready
So, yeah,
in the bullpen.
I know. Let's do things, Andrew. So, yeah, there you go. Next up, another one-timer from YouTube. Adam, what/who are you most excited about for this season for the Canes?
Oh, boy. I mean, honestly, a full season of Stankoven. I want to see what Keandre Miller's going to look like, playing in this system. Like, it's the same, though, right? I mean, I'm optimistic. I said it last year. I know everybody was, not everybody, but they're about probably half of the experts were forecasting struggles for Carolina, and it was pretty much same old, same old. So I'm looking forward to the season like any. I will say this, and I responded to somebody on Twitter about this. I think the roster that Carolina ends next season with will look very different from the one they begin the season with. I do think there are moves to be made.
Talking sports, so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Here's how you know the Bill Belichick hype is through the roof. At ACC Media Kickoff, Dabo Swinney, one of the most popular, famous coaches in the country, was walking around giving interviews, and almost no one was following him. That's because every media member was up at Bill Belichick's press conference hoping for just a few seconds of audio from the UNC coach.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business, whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Summer fun's just begun. Score the North Carolina Courage's Courageously Cool ticket offer. Buy 2 or more tickets to the August 2nd or 16th match and get $25 in Courage cash. Grab yours now at tickets.nccourage.com.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
New to the area? Let me be the first to welcome you. I'm Marcy Bailey of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. We've been family-owned and part of North Carolina since 1948. We have a tradition of being voted the best jewelry store with an unparalleled selection of designer jewelry, fine diamonds, engagement rings, watches, and gifts to commemorate all your special occasions. We look forward to sharing our award-winning service and stunning jewels with you. Visit us today in-store or at baileybox.com to see why every woman wants a Bailey box.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free.
That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yes, give me my good friends. Give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Hurry into Family Fare to get 2 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew for just $4. Family Fare, first in thirst.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
North Carolina going to the SEC? Might as well shut down the conference. Like, what are we doing? If the ACC situation of Duke, North Carolina, Wake, and NC State is not intact, what are we doing at that point? I get it. Everybody's chasing the money, and everybody wants top dollar, and everybody thinks their program should be in a bigger situation. But at some point, I'm not going to say it's diminishing returns for the schools, but for the fans, and again, the student athletes, I mean, what the experience has just completely changed.
It's the Adam Gold Show. How you doing? I'm Adam. Victoria's here. Clinton Yates, who, if you listen locally, you hear his show right before ours, ESPN Radio. Clinton, is it just Clinton and Friends?
I think so. Sometimes
or is it Clinton Yates and Friends?
Sometimes it's like Clinton and Friends, like Clinton and Friends, rather than and.
I don't know. Here's the deal. I want to address what he had to say, but first I want to let you know that you can watch the show on YouTube. There's always a podcast. Victoria spits out, segments of the show via podcast.
Heard it.
Sometimes, like, immediately after they're done.
Oh, yeah. I'm fast like that. I'm putting up Adam Smith right now.
Adam Smith, who joined us last hour from inside Carolina. That was a fun conversation, by the way. Hopefully we'll do it again soon. Season starts again 4 weeks from Monday.
Right.
Against TCU. State starts 4 weeks from today.
Mm-hmm.
Against East Carolina, Thursday night game.
Big one.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Now back to what Clinton just said. Of course it would be silly for Duke, UNC, and NC State to not all be in the same league. Yeah. We have so much silly going on right now. We've had silly going on for 15 years. I guess if your focus is primarily professional sports, and I'm not knocking Clinton Yates at all. I guessed in this program, we've had fun conversations with him. But college sports stopped giving a damn about the athletes and the fans a long time ago. They don't make any decisions. 0 decisions are made with fans or athletes in mind. 0. If a decision that they make benefits the athlete or the fans, they will point that out. But year over year over year over year, every decision they make is based on one thing and one thing only: money. That's it. That's all it is. And if that decision, which brings them more money, sometimes gobs of money, if it does that and it benefits the athletes and the students and the fans, then they go, hey, look at that. We did this for them. No, you didn't. And if it doesn't benefit them, like, for instance, Southern Cal and UCLA being in the same league as Penn State, for all sports, not just football. Like, they don't really talk about it in terms of, man, it's great for our athletes and it's great for our fans, because it isn't. It just isn't. And they know that. But the decisions are only made based on money. Only. Which is why, and there's a part of the conversation we had with Adam Smith that leads to another conversation. But it's not a conversation, maybe in a larger, hey, let's get a whole bunch of people who cover this get together and kick around these topics. We should do, honestly, an entire hour, maybe an entire show of a roundtable about what different reporters think of the future of college sports. Because I think it would be interesting just to have this exchange of crazy ideas.
Yeah, and there's a lot to say about it.
Tons.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that that Adam wrote about with the grant of rights essentially being euthanized by the ACC in settling the lawsuit with Florida State and Clemson, because they really did. And we talked to David McKenzie, the intellectual property attorney, about this a few weeks ago, and I'm sure we'll have him on again soon. The legal standing for that was very sound. And Florida State's estimate, by the way, of $530 million to get out of the league at that time was way low, because it isn't what you would get in terms of your revenue had you stayed in the league that you are responsible for. It's whatever revenue you would get going to the new league that would would never even enter your account. It would go directly to your past conference. That's what grant of rights means. We grant our rights to the league, to the ACC. The ACC doing that is an admission that 5 years from now, when the SEC and the Big Ten media contracts are up, there's going to be massive upheaval in college sports. Massive. And that's why I joked, we might not have any conferences. We might just have one big super league. And in many ways, that's probably going to be how the college football will protect themselves legally, is that it will have to separate, it will have to collectively bargain with players, it will have to directly pay the athletes to play. It's going to be a mini NFL. Legally, it will almost certainly have to be something like that. And the one of the biggest players in this, and I'll wrap this up real quick right here because I want to stretch to a little bit of NFL stuff. One of the biggest players in it is going to be this Texas Tech booster whose name now escapes my mind. But when we first got wind of a presidential commission on college sports, Nick Saban was going to be a part of it, and it was Texas Tech's billionaire booster, Texas Tech from the Big 12. And his idea to essentially create a whole new system for college football would be all of the schools pool their resources and revenue. And again, it would just be like professional football. He said they'd make a lot more money than they're making now. Everybody, including schools in the SEC and the Big Ten, which already make tons of money, he said they'd make more. There's a lot more money to be had if these schools untethered themselves from their conference affiliation. And I don't think he's wrong at all. People devour college football during the year. Devour it. Not quite like the NFL, but it's the second most popular sport on television. The NBA gets about $12 billion annually. The NFL makes $25 billion annually.
Double.
College football would probably fall into the $15 billion range. Think about how much more that is annually, how much more that is than what they currently earn. So, but will the SEC and the Big Ten be willing to cede their advantage? Because remember, as much as it's about money, it's about power. All right, we're almost, we have time. All right, let's get to some NFL stuff. I meant to get this in the opening of the program. It's been fun to watch. I don't listen to the Pat McAfee show because it's on when we're on.
Right. Yes.
So, but McAfee has been doing an NFL camp tour. I think they're in Minnesota.
Wow, he's got
today.
sleeves on today.
He does. Well, it's in Minnesota.
True.
It's probably snow
a
on the
little
ground.
chilly.
Yeah. Anyway, yesterday they were in Pittsburgh. You know what I found out yesterday? Mike Tomlin, and we're going to hear from Mike Tomlin here in a sec. Mike Tomlin is a Sudoku puzzle doer.
Oh, really?
Yes, daily.
Oh, wow.
And he plays Sudoku on his phone.
Okay.
Right? He does crossword puzzles. He does Sudoku. And honestly, crossword puzzles, no, but daily Sudoku.
Wow.
He says mind games.
Yeah.
It's good logic problems. I'm a big logic problem guy.
Keeps you young.
I was excited to hear that.
I know.
And it's a totally new experience for Tomlin because it's been a minute since he has had a quarterback, and he was asked if it feels different having Aaron Rodgers around.
You're damn right it does. It feels pretty good, too.
Yeah, but
just the possibilities, man. To have a guy like that, man, in your huddle, in your locker room, a part of your group, it certainly gives us all great confidence.
That's cute. He seems excited.
He should be excited.
Yeah.
Look, I do not have great expectations for Aaron Rodgers. But one thing that he will have in Pittsburgh that he did not have in New York with the Jets, or in New Jersey, really, with the Jets, is a head coach with some gravitas. No offense to Robert Saleh, who was the head coach of the Jets when Rodgers signed. And it maybe would have been different had Rodgers not torn his Achilles 4 plays into game 1 in year 1. But Robert Saleh, while certainly a qualified head coach, doesn't matter how it went, it's the Jets. But certainly a qualified head coach, didn't really have any history. Now, Rodgers doesn't have any history with Tomlin, but Tomlin has a resume as, that would stack up against, other than Belichick and Andy Reid. I mean, you're talking about, over the last 20 years, one of the best head coaches in the entirety of the NFL. So Tomlin comes with his accolades already. Saleh had nothing like that. And Rodgers will walk all over you if you allow it. And the Jets allowed it. That will not happen in Pittsburgh. Tomlin on convincing Rodgers to come.
It was kind of a bromance, you know what I mean? Now, for me, man, I was just excited to get to know the guy on a personal level. And so that's how I viewed it. Man, we had some cool and interesting conversations about football, about life, about where he is in his career and what he was potentially looking for. I slow roasted it, if you will, man. I didn't try to microwave it because I didn't feel like that would be effective anyway. And so I just enjoyed getting to know him over the course of those conversations, and I just felt like if we did it and did it consistently, and lay a nice foundation for our relationship when we started working together.
So, to me, I can absolutely see where Rodgers, I know that Tomlin is, I'll just use the word charming.
Yeah.
Right?
How can you not love him?
I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan. I've said this before. I know people don't believe me because I still get comments on Twitter about my Jets. I don't care what the Jets do. like, I have a lifetime of following them, so I get, their history and how it sort of impacts their future. I'm actually, in some strange ways, I am fascinated by what this year will be like with Aaron Glenn, who, as a player, as a Jets fan growing up, Glenn was a great player. Cornerback for the Jets for a long time. Most of his career was spent with the Jets. And Glenn is very old school as a coach. I would not be shocked if Glenn was able to overcome that Jets and actually turn that, football team into a competent unit. I would not be shocked at that. But with that said, I'm not moved one way or the other by what the Jets do, win or loss. It doesn't matter to me. But I've said this before. If Mike Tomlin were ever the Jets coach, I'm buying a jersey and I am all in. I am back on it. I have so much respect for the way he goes about his business as a head coach and as a guy. So I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I love him here. Not that I don't love Dave Canales, but Tomlin, I'd pick him.
Canales is more handsome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just,
he's the golden retriever of head coaches, so.
Interesting. Is the golden retriever the most attractive dog?
It depends who you ask, but yeah, they'd probably win. They'd probably win majority-wise. We could ask the YouTube stream. Poll question.
Yeah. Most attractive dog. Is it a golden retriever? I don't know, man.
German Shepherds are sharp, but I love those.
Labrador retrievers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But golden retrievers, they're cute from a puppy till forever. So.
No, don't say bulldog.
Oh, gosh.
Pushed in face. Don't do that.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. Corgis are awesome.
Yep, that's true.
Corgis are awesome. They're jerks.
Multiple times.
Staring at you, Harriet, at home.
Not just Harriet. But
terrorizing Earl.
They got some sass.
Yeah, they do. They're mouthy.
Oh, yeah. Can't do the little dogs.
Exactly. Well, no, she's not so little. All right. Enough about my dogs. When we come back, Elliot Johnson. Baseball's trade deadline ends at 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight. We'll talk about what teams should really be looking for. Maybe I'll get him to reminisce about that Red Sox trade in 2004. And also, because he grew up a Cubs fan, Ryne Sandberg's passing. Elliot, middle infielder, Sandberg, one of the greatest of all time at second base, maybe the greatest at all time. We'll get his thoughts on that, plus a business side of baseball. Next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Here's how you know the Bill Belichick hype is through the roof. At ACC Media Kickoff, Dabo Swinney, one of the most popular, famous coaches in the country, was walking around giving interviews, and almost no one was following him. That's because every media member was up at Bill Belichick's press conference hoping for just a few seconds of audio from the UNC coach.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
See if you're a winner every night.
Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. Right now, get a 4-piece GE kitchen suite for under $2,000. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt Max XR 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. Save big with deals that work as hard as you do. Shop Pro Savings Days in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 8/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's why.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Today is Major League Baseball's trade deadline. And it seems to me that the Padres get it. They're trying to win a World Series. The Mets have added a couple of relievers. The Cubs have added a starting pitcher, Mike Soroka. So there are teams who are trying to win. And there, of course, are teams that are trying to actively not win. That will come up in the second part of our conversation with the one and only Elliot Johnson, former big leaguer. My friend, sir, how are you?
Yeah, baseball's in the air still, Adam. I love it.
All right, let me ask you a couple of questions. And as a Cubs fan growing up, I want to get your thoughts on Ryan Sandberg. We'll do that in just a second. If you look at the trade deadline, is there an area that every team should address if you are trying to win in the postseason? Is there a specific area every team should address?
Well, the easy answer is your bullpen. Okay, if you can upgrade your bullpen, it's the easy answer because there's so many guys that are available. It's easy to replace them. It's really, you're just trying to make sure you can find guys that can handle big moments. That's really what you're looking for. So the reason why teams go older during that time frame is you want to make sure guys are battle tested. They've been through it before because you don't want to bring up rookies. I can remember, remember the Cardinals when La Russa started. What was his name? The really, really good lefty as a starter. It's eluding me right now.
You're talking about, this is it was way pre Tony La Russa. I was going to say John Tudor, but
No.
I don't even know. I mean, the Cardinals have had great pitching over the course of the last 20
Ankiel,
years.
Rick Ankiel.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
Rick Ankiel. And so Rick, one of the greatest stories of all time. What a great baseball player. What a special guy. He comes back as a hitter and
Yeah.
was an unbelievable baseball player for the Nationals for forever.
Sure.
So you're trying to avoid that, because not only can you destroy your opportunity to win the World Series, but you can also destroy a very good baseball player. And Ankiel, he could have been, who knows how good he would have been as a pitcher, but testament to him for coming back as a position guy. So you're trying to upgrade your bullpen as much as possible with guys that have been through it, that are ready for it, and that takes a different kind of guy. And I can even remember talking to you about the difference between Jabba Chamberlain versus Fausto Carmona with the Bugs in Cleveland.
Yes.
The
midgies,
How much
the
different
midgies.
the midges, and how much different Jabba handled that versus Fausto. Fausto was like, yeah, whatever, I can handle anything. And Jabba, it obviously rattled him, and he wasn't able to perform out there in that environment. So I think that's the easy place for guys to go. That's why you see such a changing of the guard. I was pretty surprised by how expensive it was to get Duran over to the Phillies. I was pretty surprised with how expensive it was to get Rogers over to the Mets. But that's apparently what it costs to get really good, dependable arms out of the bullpen today.
Yeah, and Rogers isn't even a big strikeout guy. It's under a strikeout an inning, but he's proven late inning reliever, not necessarily a closer, though he does have some of that. And then they got the closer from the Cardinals, who's a multiple-time All-Star, hard thrower, big strikeout guy, but they're all going to set up Edwin Diaz because, to me, the number one determining factor as to who wins in the postseason is how good your bullpen is. Every team doesn't make a difference how great your starting pitching is. You need a bullpen in the postseason.
You remember the Royals winning mix 2015 was they just shortened the game so much because they had everyone in their bullpen that threw 100, and the game was 5 innings long because as soon as they went to the bullpen, it was over because the 6th inning was Hochevar, the 7th inning was Herrera, the 8th inning was Wade Davis, and the 9th inning was Greg Hall, a North Carolina native. So all of them threw 100. Good luck. If you didn't score runs in the first 5 innings, it was over.
Yeah, and they were just such a solid ball club, top to bottom. All right, let me just ask you about Ron Sandberg now as he passed away just a few days ago. Look, I don't know if he's the greatest second baseman of all time, but I don't know that I could rattle off more than 2 others in his class. Rogers Hornsby, and we're going back to before we could even watch baseball. With that, I mean, maybe you make an argument for Roberto Alomar. I don't know. But as a kid who grew up a Cubs fan, what are your thoughts on Sandberg?
So I got to take a photo with Rhino when I was like 13 or 14, and I had that posted in my room. It's still there in my mom's house right now. I mean, that's how much we loved Rhino. So, of course, growing up as Cubs fans, of course we loved him. He was a great baseball player. He was, obviously he's a Hall of Famer. My younger brother actually played for him when he was managing in Peoria. Wow. And so what Leon used to tell me was he would stay outside the bus and sign autographs until everyone was done, and then they would leave and go between town to town waiting. So he was just a wonderful human being, always said yes to any autograph opportunity, take a picture. He never took that for granted. And obviously, he made growing up and being a Cubs fan a whole lot better, and I tried to pattern myself after him. My dad hated the fact that he took the first pitch all the time, but you can't argue with the results. He was one of the greatest.
So if teams could sneak one by him, do you remember who he was? He was not an original Cub. He was Phillies first. Do you remember the player that went the other way in the Ryan Sandberg trade?
I do not.
Ivan De Jesus, who was a pretty good shortstop. And Ryan Sandberg was just, a rookie at the time of the trade. So it's going to lead me to the next part of our conversation. But yeah, Larry Boa was also in that trade. And that actually was the basis for a pretty good Cubs team that I believe had Ron Say and Keith Moreland. And, that was a pretty good team. Today, you're going to see a lot of prospects moved for established players. And everybody goes nuts over the prospect, the the level of the prospect, how many prospects you get. Am I crazy, or would I always rather have the established player than the prospect? Not always. 98% of the time, I'd rather have the established player over the prospect. Am I crazy?
You're not crazy. So, like, did you watch Kershaw was mic'd up recently, and he was criticizing, the prospect return. He's like, he hasn't done anything yet. And so Kershaw is on the bitter end of the spectrum, obviously, because I don't know how much time he's got left playing in the game, but he is on your side of the table. I think you could point to a couple of guys. So Michael Brantley was in that CC Sabathia deal.
Okay.
That ended up working out really well for Cleveland. I think you're right, though. The potential, I'll use that word. The potential that prospects have is really what you're hoping to get out of them. But in reality, the established big leaguers, generally speaking, especially because you're trying to win right now, are always going to carry more weight. If you end up losing, that's the disappointing part because you gave up a lot for future success. But there are times where the minor leaguer that goes in return ends up being extremely good.
It happens.
It does. But David Price going to the Tigers, the return the Rays got negligible.
Right.
There's so many times where you could go back and forth. AJ Preller, I just saw recently, the trades he's given up versus the trades he's received in terms of just WAR have actually been almost identical. So he's usually wheeling and dealing this time of year. The difference is he always seems to deplete his farm system like Dombrowski does with the Phillies, whereas the Dodgers always have more players that they can always trade away, it seems like, every single year.
All right, Elliot Johnson is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Big picture question. You and I have had this conversation before. Bryce Harper of the Phillies apparently had just short of a dust-up with Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball. He's been going around meeting with teams because we are going to have a collective bargaining agreement negotiation really coming up very soon. And Bryce Harper basically told him, if you're here, talk about a salary cap, you can GTFOH. And it did get a little bit contentious. Bryce has somewhat backed off of that. And now it is bringing out a lot of articles about why baseball needs a salary cap. What would a salary cap do for Major League Baseball?
It would make owners of Major League Baseball franchises more profitable across the board. So one of the things that, you go back and here, I'm going to give a little history lesson that one of the things that gets under my skin. So Ryan Sandberg's teammate, Andre Dawson, was one of my dad's favorites because his arm strength was unbelievable. And I can still remember sitting in the upper deck close to that right field line when a triple got hit. And he threw a ball all the way to third base from that right field line. And it looked like it rose because he spun it so hard. I mean, and, not to talk about Magnus Force and get nerdy, but it was remarkable to see how good his arm was. So we loved Andre Dawson. Now, if you read his book, The Hawk, it talks about how he was basically the target of the Montreal Expos, which had a soft spot in Bud Selig's heart. And they colluded against him to be able to prevent him from getting free market opportunity, which he had earned, and he had just been an MVP. And every team matched it. He went to the Cubs and played for $500,000 because he wanted to play in Chicago. And if you read the book, it says because one of the fans at a game he was at said, "We'd love to have you in Chicago." And he said he remembered that. And that's why he picked the Cubs out of the teams that were potential suitors. Okay. So an MVP player turned down tens of millions of dollars just to come to the Cubs for a $500,000 flyer because Bud Selig headed that up. I'm telling you all this to tell you the reason why players don't trust the owners is because you can't trust them. They always bend the rules to benefit them. They rarely are going to do anything in between. And by and large, if you can see that they're pretending to come to the table operating in good faith, you can almost guarantee that they're not. Okay, so and give you an example of how little we trust them, even if there was a floor, and let's say it was 100 million, okay, and the ceiling was 200, whatever it is, the Pirates would likely find a way to determine how they could skirt the rules, take the penalty, and just go ahead and pay their team 25 and just deal with the consequences therein. Okay, so that's why it's always the details that matter the most, and you could almost assuredly we're all preparing basically to feel like there's going to be a lockout here for the next CBA.
Yeah.
If they're using this, that's fine. And I understand there's a growing disparity between the large market teams and the small market teams, Adam. But keep in mind, they're also negotiating that CBA. So they're going to have to find a way to make it work. What they do from a PR standpoint is make the players the bad guy. In reality, it's the teams bickering themselves, and they're going to make the players out to be the bad guys.
I have always argued that labor disputes are not labor versus management. They are the two differing levels of management, that they are the larger revenue teams, because nobody's going to argue that the Angels or the White Sox or the Athletics, when they were in, or their original city, Oakland, nobody's going to argue that those weren't large market teams. They were the second team in those markets. The Mets are the second team, theoretically, in New York. I like to argue that there's not much difference between the Mets and the Yankees in terms of overall fandom when the Mets are good. Met fans come out of the woodwork. But what really is the problem is that you've got a certain number of teams that don't try to win. The Pirates were one of the most profitable teams in baseball in 2024. I mean, I think they made like $68 million profit. They could have taken $68 million and put it into player salaries. They chose not to. You don't have to make money as an owner of a major league team. You could, the Mets didn't last year. I think the Dodgers might have, but I think I saw where the Dodgers made like $16 million. Right? You don't have to make money. The franchise value always goes up. So I think the Pirates, in terms of turning a profit, don't they prove that it really isn't a salary cap that baseball needs? They just need teams everywhere who are trying to win.
Yeah, I think one of the things that bothers me too, Adam, is the way the CBA is written up now. It incentivizes the tankathon. Basically, the Astros are competitive because they tanked for a number of years. The Cubs, they tanked for a number of years. The Rays had the first pick for forever for a number of years. So I think that there needs to be more incentive to be competitive. Like you see what's going on with the Black Sox scandal. That black eye is still there. And they obviously make sure that players are giving everything they have to help the team win on any particular day, and rightfully so, right? But there is no incentive for teams to try their best to win every single year. In fact, there's actually incentive for them to go the other direction and tank, so they could potentially be winning later on. It's not working in Pittsburgh, of course. They need to tank a number of years into the future to be anywhere near competitive.
They're well on their way.
Yeah, the Marlins need to do the same thing. I mean, they're nowhere near competitive for a long time. And then, the Braves ended up winning in 21. They've gone the other direction. So none of the deals that they've been doing have really panned out. And, if Acuna's hurt, you can't lay the entire organization on one player. So they've made mistake after mistake. Ultimately, what you find is that it's a very competitive business, and rightfully so. But we would like the same thing to be held, the same standard applied to players, where if you're not giving your best, there's a problem and there needs to be change. There needs to be the same type of incentive to ensure that teams are every bit trying to win as much as the players are.
Final thing, because you mentioned a salary floor of about $100 million. I think it would have to be higher. There are 30 teams in Major League Baseball, and in 2024, in terms of all encompassing, is not just the 26-man roster. It's really the 40-man roster. All encompassing, there were 15 teams that paid out above $150 million and 15 below it. Wouldn't the floor have to be basically $150 million? Because the cap isn't going to be lower than, my guess is, $225. If they were actually going to hard cap it, which I don't think they ever will, but if they were going to put some sort of a cap on it, I would think it would have to be in the neighborhood of $225.
You would hope, but I understand the way that they're going to negotiate is, they're going to look. Manfred, for as much as I don't really care for the man, he's really good at negotiating. He knows what he's doing. He wins. I mean, you just see him walking around. The reason why he has so much confidence to go into the Phillies clubhouse is because he just keeps winning everywhere he goes. And so I'll give him the credit for that. I'll give him credit for the pitch clock. A lot of things he's doing are being productive, but if this is the place where he's chosen to dig his heels into, I think he's barking up the wrong tree. I do. I don't think the players are ever going to go for it. So instead of trying this, campaign where he's going around doing this rah-rah stuff, especially Bryce Harper, Bryce isn't going to go for it. He needs to be doing it somewhere else. I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe, the best Canadian player we've got right now, maybe he should start there. I don't know. But it's definitely not going to work with Bryce Harper.
Freddie Freeman is the best Canadian player. Yes?
Yeah, but he was born and raised in California. I don't think Freddie's not going to go for it either. Look at the deal he took. He's not going to go for it.
There you go.
So I just don't see it. I don't know how that's going to go, but I think that campaign needs to go ahead and die. To try and make it public, I think is a mistake too.
Elliot Johnson, best there is. My friend, I appreciate your time. We'll talk more ball as we get closer to, I don't know. We're already close to it. It's August. I'll talk to you very soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. Elliot Johnson here on the Adam Gold Show. The first answer he gave to the question, what would a salary cap do, would make the game more profitable for the owners, because here's what it would do. And I've read too many things about, it would be better for all players. No, it wouldn't. We have salary caps in other sports, and they're not better for all players. They're better for stars are always going to get their money. And if you limit how much teams can pay other players, even though you're not really doing that, you are taking money out of those players' pockets, because the stars will always get theirs. The only sport in which the rank and file make bank is the NBA, because they've only got 15 guys to pay. That's it. So you can, he's terrible. He's not going to get a great contract. It's only going to be $11 million a year. Like a bench player in the NBA makes more than all but 15 guys in the NHL. It's crazy. They only have so many players they have to pay. Salary cap will only keep more money in owners' pockets. It's the only thing that's going to happen with it. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will stretch. We will place bets next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Voted best zoo in the nation, North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens is centrally located in the heart of North Carolina. Bring your family to Asheboro for an affordable day trip or weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, pouncing sandcats, and diving seabirds at the world's largest natural habitat zoo. Roam with rhinos on Zoofari, or flutter by the exotic butterfly garden during your next visit. Explore more possibilities at nczoo.org.
I had questions about my child's vaccines, so I got real answers from her doctor, because we share the same goal, keeping her healthy and strong. Her doctor told me that keeping up with childhood vaccines, getting them at the recommended ages and sometimes together, is a proven way to protect her from serious illnesses, ones that can be prevented with vaccines. Have questions? Get real answers. Talk to your doctor. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
As the health director in Haywood County and a nurse here in North Carolina, I can tell you that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline saves lives.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available.
988 Lifeline counselors are ready 24/7 to speak with you, help you cope, and get you connected to the support that is right for you.
988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Adam Gold.
While I'm watching Colombia, Uruguay, not only the end of that match, but the fight in the stands after it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Heard it got spicy.
That was the most excited fans we have seen in 5 years at Bank of America Stadium. Man, look at all the happy people at Bank of America.
Just took the other kind of football.
Yeah, there you go. More of that.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. CBS sent out their full slate of NFL broadcasters yesterday. J.J. Watt is the lead analyst on their number 2 team with Iron Eagle. It was, who was it last year? Charles Davis. But J.J. Watt is now the number 2 analyst at CBS. Like Greg Olsen is the number 2 analyst at Fox with Tom Brady in year 2 of that deal, even though Olsen is the best analyst.
Big time.
In NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
We hear them all.
Yep.
Olsen is the best.
Even if I'm biased, I agree.
Yeah,
He's just great, regardless.
I am also admittedly biased about that, but I think he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He really is good. He makes it fun, and the analysis is instantaneous.
Very informative. So he's good.
All right, we should stretch.
All right, you said you wanted to kick something off with the.
Yeah, this is just to me an incredible story. Are you a watcher of the reality? Do you like Love Island? Is it like the new one?
I mean, I've watched stuff like that. I like
Right.
garbage TV every now and again.
The Bachelor or The Bachelorette?
I'm bacheloretted out.
Did you watch the like Silver Bachelor? Like it was an
the
old guy?
like the golden years or something.
Whatever, Silver. I don't know, Silver Alert Bachelor.
I did not. I saw the promo and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
what are we
exactly.
doing?
Well, introducing, this is no joke. This is tweeted out by the U.S. Open tennis, which starts in a few weeks. Introducing Game Set Matchmaker.
There we go.
I'm reading from the tweet. a bold new U.S. Open YouTube series that follows one tennis-savvy bachelorette, the champion, on her quest to find love one match at a time.
Wow.
Over the course of 8 episodes filmed during U.S. Open Fan Week, which I believe already, I think will happen, will any of her 7 matches be destined for a real-life doubles partner?
Oh, boy.
The series will air during the tournament.
Okay. Yeah, well, when you said YouTube series, I was like, all right, well, there we go.
Shouldn't that be on OnlyFans?
It feels like it. I don't know. But maybe. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's something for everyone,
There you go.
I guess.
That's what I got.
That's on your to-do list to watch, I guess. So, I don't know if you read about this. This is also, questionable. Who knows? But the Las Vegas Raiders cut their defender, Christian Wilkins, last week.
Yes. They owe him a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
They cut him and publicly said, we're not paying him this money.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like the way he was rehabilitating an injured foot that cut short his season last year.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the speculation as to what also could have contributed
Oh,
to that
no,
cut?
I did not.
It's a little odd.
Okay.
But ESPN said that Wilkins playfully kissed another player on the head.
Yes.
But the guy took offense to that and filed an HR report. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it also, but the foot injury was in there as well.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part until I read this article.
No,
and I was
I
like,
had heard
oh.
that last week. There can't possibly be a connection to kissing a teammate on the head, top of the head.
Right. Yeah.
Right. There can't possibly be
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. But that money that you were talking about.
He filed an HR violation?
He did. Yes. This other player filed a complaint with HR.
Was it open-mouthed?
I know.
I mean, I don't
know.
understand.
I mean, usually they're wearing helmets,
Yes.
but also you're sweaty up there. It's just...
It might have been during a team photo.
I know. So, yeah, Wilkins, he had a 4-year, $110 million deal last offseason. So, yeah, the Raiders voided $35.2 million in
There's a
guaranteed
substantial
money.
amount of money.
So, yeah, there's lots of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was a little weird. This also seems a little weird, but I would totally be down to try this. So, I'm a huge mac and cheese fan. When people ask, what would your last meal be, mac and cheese is totally there.
What? Okay.
I mean, if it's not the only thing, it's at least there.
All
It's in the company. But Kraft mac and cheese, the blue box.
That's not even real.
Well, they're trying to make a not real flavor real because now they're unleashing a new pizza flavor mac and cheese. And they say it's quote, because it's very sophisticated. Bold and savory notes of garlic and classic Italian spices capture the essence of a classic slice in every bite. Okay.
Is there crust?
Who knows? I would like to see a picture.
Yeah.
I need to see a picture of this. But, I mean, it's 2 of most people's favorite things, pizza and mac and cheese. So maybe it's good. I don't know. I don't know. That's it's an interesting choice. But, that's going to satisfy a bunch of kids, little picky eaters out there.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But one thing I was picky about yesterday, we'll see if I am today, is placing some good bets.
Place your bets, do you? I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right, 2 of my wagers yesterday were the golf tournament that started today, so we have nothing to report there.
Right.
And one was a anytime home run by Mets DH Mark Vientos. Mets got shut out, so I'm fairly certain he did not hit a home run because that would mean a run.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah. Tough
Yeah.
day. Tough day at the office.
Well, I avoided the Cubs yesterday, and they won. So, I don't know. Maybe sometimes giving it a break helps.
Yeah, maybe it does.
So, I've done this with the Braves before. I've picked them when they've been an underdog, so I'm going to do that again today. They're in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. Give me the underdog Braves to win. They're plus 160.
All right. We are going to go with the Braves in Cincinnati. Gavin Lux for the Reds. Anytime home run plus 600 today.
Nice.
Gavin Lux.
And then next up, the Texas Rangers in Seattle. Give me Seattle to win, and I will take the over 7.5. That's plus 190.
All right, so let's do 2 Major League Baseball futures for as we, the trade deadline is 6:00 today, and we will see if I can pick out the 2 teams that will be in the World Series
nice.
this year. We will start in the American League, and we will go the I hope Elliot Johnson not listening right now. Houston Astros plus 450 to win the American League.
Yeah. And let's see, last but not least, sticking with that Rangers and Seattle game, give me Hal Raleigh to be a home run hitter today, plus 255.
All right, can the San Diego Padres get over on the Los Angeles Dodgers? Right now, the Dodgers are plus 125. Basically even money.
Yeah, they took Ohtani out yesterday, didn't they?
I have no idea.
I think they did.
I really don't have any idea. Padres are plus 1,200 to make the World Series. Brewers, remember I told you I like the Brewers, plus 750. Let's go crazy. Padres plus 1,200 to get to the World Series. How about that? All right, next hour, a little football with the feet and more.
From the heels,
touchdown Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. He has the big brain that invented the no closing cost mortgage, so you could save thousands of dollars when you buy a house or when you refinance. If you pay closing costs, and people do every day, those people are wagering that the rates for mortgages will not drop in about 8 years. That's the break-even point, 8 years. If you think the rates aren't going to be any lower than they are today, you're wrong. They will. But if you think they won't be, then go ahead. Pay closing costs. That'll be your best deal. But if the rates drop, you simply refinance, again, free of charge, taking advantage of your ability to save thousands and then save hundreds by lowering your payment. MillerLending.com has everything you need. Miller Lending, on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 250-2146.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the preseason, so me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, are back in the trenches with our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as training camp rolls forward. Insight on the rookies, the fresh free agents and surprises, plus all the insider info on the upcoming season. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Summer fun's just begun. Score the North Carolina Courage's Courageously Cool ticket offer. Buy 2 or more tickets to the August 2nd or 16th match and get $25 in Courage cash. Grab yours now at tickets.nccourage.com.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show.
Ray, the one-strike pitch, and Vientos lines it down the left field side. That's a hit toward the line. That'll give the lead to the Mets. Soto is in. Marte around third, in to score, and cruising into second base. A clutch, 2-out, 2-run double. Mark Vientos gives the Mets a 2-1 lead. Jung-Hoo Lee off second. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive. Leaping grab at first on a backhand. Snared by Alonso, and that's the ball game, and the Mets hang on and win it. A rocket off the bat of Bailey and speared by Alonso to win the game.
That was when the Mets were winning. It was 3 games ago. I think the Mets lost all 3 games in San Diego to the Padres. Padres are good. Legitimately good. National League is loading up for a stretch run. It's going to be the better baseball. That doesn't mean the National League is going to win the World Series, but the better baseball is being played in at the top of the NL right now. Whether it's the Dodgers, Phillies are really good. I think they're the second choice among the bettors. Cubs, Brewers, Mets are right in it. Padres also good. There's a lot of good baseball being played at the top of the National League. And that on that side, if you make the playoffs, you got a shot. In the American League, I'm not even sure. I think the Tigers are the best team, but I don't know. They've been going through it too.
Yeah.
It's a long season.
It's a dogfight.
It's a very, very, very long season.
And then the playoffs get crazy.
Yeah.
Just like most.
Playoff baseball is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I watched the Yankees have base running issues last night. I say this every year. In the playoffs, base running, defense, and bullpen. Those are the 3 factors that determine who wins. Yes, all the other stuff matter. But base running mistakes, defensive mistakes, you don't even have to be great. The mistakes and how good your bullpen is. That's what determines whether or not your team's going to win. All right, are we ready for the Wall of Sound?
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
I want to start with this because I'm not sure I fully comprehend the whole Cam Newton-Gilly thing. I really don't know. So Gilly, who I gather is a hip-hop artist. I have no idea what he is.
That's what Google says.
Okay. Gilly,
the kid,
took a shot at Cam, who has his own YouTube channel and platform, So we'll let you hear a little bit of Gilly's because, frankly, most of it we couldn't air. Let you hear a little bit of Gilly, and then we'll let you hear Cam's reaction.
Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl.
Let's bring up your actual facts and your actual stats. When I'm looking at your rap career, Gilly did not chart any solo singles on the Billboard Hot 100. Philadelphia didn't do no numbers? Dang. Former member of Major Figures, bass rap group late 90s and early 2000s. You ain't never been great at nothing. The only great thing that Gilly does, he's a great mascot. Mascot! Very questionable career. But respectfully, brother, we cannot relate. While you're dancing on the sideline, I was in the game. Please understand, when I said your name, most people didn't know who you were. They said, who, Gilly? Who is that?
Raise my hand.
Now, you know the dude that be walking around with the big old hat? Oh, that dude. Man, don't take him serious. That's the narrative about you, guy. You can't beat me in nothing. And I mean nothing. That's basketball, that's football, that's baseball, that's rock, paper, scissors, that's chess, that's checkers, that's tennis, that's golf. All I'm asking for is respect.
Okay.
He roasted him so bad.
Yes.
Great. I love Cam.
Right. I have no idea who Gilly is.
No.
I have no idea.
The kid. But that's the extra part that I guess he leaves off now.
But it is interesting. It began with the Jalen Hurts did something you have never been able to do, which was win a Super Bowl. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, by that account, is also, you could have said the same thing about Dan Marino. Right? A fact. Phillip Rivers. A fact.
Mm-hmm.
Archie Manning. You know, the two Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, each one too. But, yeah. Jalen Hurts is as good, apparently, as Aaron Rodgers. Regardless. I saw like a regurgitation. Remember Cam Newton earlier this football season? Who he sits in on First Take. This First Take news, by the way, I want to just bring up here in a second. But Cam Newton sits in on First Take once or twice a week. I don't exactly know the deal. And I don't know if he's going to come back and do it this year. But they asked him, would you trade your MVP for a Super Bowl? And Cam went, no. And, of course, people lost their minds because how could you not want team success over individual success? And the answer is because, like, why are we pretending that winning an MVP, being the best player in the league in a given year, isn't important? Team success, in many ways, is luck. I mean, just flat luck. Charles Barkley, one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA, never won a title. I think he played for one once. Did he make it to a NBA Finals once? Patrick Ewing, never won. Like I'm not the biggest Patrick Ewing fan, but he's a whole lot better than a bunch of people who have NBA titles. I mean, he's a great player. So in a lot of ways, it's luck whether or not you're on NBA champion, you win league championships. But let's not pretend that that the MVP awards don't matter, because they do. And I didn't think it was in any way kind of an indication that Cam was not there for his team because he wouldn't trade his MVP for a Super Bowl. Of course he wanted to win. By the way, Greg Olson, who's the second time he's been mentioned in this program today, Greg Olson went to bat for Cam on that as well. Speaking of First Take, and then we'll get to one more thing for the Wall of Sound. Shannon Sharp won't be back.
No.
Have you followed the Shannon Sharp story?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, they announced, I think it was yesterday, that he would no longer be a part of the First Take lineup. And honestly, the only thing I could think of is, why did it take this long?
Mm-hmm.
I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that Shannon Sharpe is a criminal.
No.
Right? I'm not. This is not about that. There are way too many things about these relationships that Sharpe has had that we don't really know, other than, I mean, we've heard a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure have.
Like, honestly, those types of things, when your conversations inadvertently, the audio of the conversations become part of the public domain. Those are the types of things that go, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should not. It's not like Shannon Sharpe is so great on TV that we have to have it.
He's just messy, man. It's
Yeah.
get it together.
So, and this doesn't have to be a firing. It's just saying, you know what? We're going to move in another direction. A less public.
Hey, I mean, you brought up OnlyFans earlier in the show. That'd be great for Shannon.
He could do this. He's got his own media company. Here's the thing. I think it ends up costing him a lot of money, I believe, because I think he was about to sign a deal because he does his own podcast and they were going to get other podcasts. I think he was going to sign like a 9-figure deal. Who's listening to them? Anyway, one more thing. Bryce Young. We all loved what he did at the end of last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you have been listening to Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, Chris Canty took notice last November and December, and he is driving the bandwagon.
Bryce Young.
Ooh.
Y'all know I've been riding this Carolina Panthers train heavy. But listen, I'm bullish on the Panthers. Dave Canales going into year 2 because of what I saw in the second half of year 1. Last year, since week 10, the Carolina Panthers played in 4 overtime games. They won 3 of them. They pushed the Kansas City Chiefs to the limit and lost on a last-second field goal. They won 4 of their final 9 games. Bryce Young, during that span, 17 total touchdowns to 3 interceptions. This offseason, the Carolina Panthers were focused on being able to get him yet another weapon. They got Ted McMillan out of Arizona, a big-body target, a guy that goes about 6'5", 210 pounds. Think Drake London-esque. That's kind of the mold that Ted McMillan is in. And they get to pair him with 2024 first-round draft pick Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. That guy goes about 6'3", 225. So you got an NBA front court playing wide receiver for Bryce Young. That paired with an offensive line that's ever improving, anchored by Ike Ekwonu. And I just believe that the Carolina Panthers have all the makings of a team that is going to surprise a lot of people and end up in the postseason. If that ends up happening, Dave Canales will be a Coach of the Year candidate, and Bryce Young will absolutely be in the MVP conversation.
If that happens, I think you can remove candidate after Dave Canales will be a Coach of the Year.
So if the Carolina Panthers win the NFC South, Dave Canales is Coach of the Year?
If they win the division and we're talking about Bryce Young MVP, yeah. I think that Dave Canales will easily be the Coach of the Year.
I mean, go to FanDuel right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just kidding.
Plus 8,500.
Look, Chris Canty I give him credit. You're all in.
And that's what worries me.
No.
He's got hit or miss ones, and I just, as a Panther fan, you've learned to tread lightly over the years. You can't get too excited. It's too soon. It's too soon.
What are I haven't seen win totals. I probably have, but I don't remember them. My guess is the over-under on Panthers wins is probably 6.5.
Yeah.
Probably 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris Canty would be taking the over.
Yeah,
on
big
that.
time.
He would be taking the over. Sean Nahas, head coach of the North Carolina Courage. They'd been off for a while. They did play 2 friendlies. When we last left, they were winning, and now they start against a team in the San Diego Wave that, treated them rather rudely about 2 months ago. It's Sean Nahas next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
How about a little taste of NFL football? The Pro Football Hall of Fame game. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Herbert throws it in the air. Catch made. Cocky takes it all the way for the touchdown. 86 yards.
Detroit.
Jamison Williams gets a block, breaks a tackle, 20, staggers to the 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Detroit!
Tonight at 8 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yes, give me my good friends. Give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain!
Rock out with your favorite bands at Lost 80s Live at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater, August 3rd. Grab your tickets at etix.com today.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
Gold. Gold.
I'm really excited about next season, considering this was supposed to be a rebuild year. But with these new guys, like Bradley Nadeau, we've got Nikishin coming eventually. If we've got Hall still here, Jackson Blake, I mean, there's so much promise and potential. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, and just wait till the big kid gets ready to play.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the 1s and 2s. It's been a minute since we have seen the North Carolina Courage in action. And matter of fact, it's been like 6 weeks since they played a NWSL match. Sean Nahas, I guess we should, you're the head coach, we should reintroduce ourselves to each other. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I know you had a couple of friendlies in the interims, and we'll talk about that in a second. But pretty unusual to have 6 weeks in between league matches.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an uncommon thing, and in the past we've had league cups and stuff that the league did away with. But yeah, I mean, it was good for our group. I was able to get some time for players that maybe haven't seen a lot of time throughout the year, and continue to build the group up. But yeah, overall it ended up working out, came out healthy, and that's all that matters.
All right, so let me ask you about what you may have accomplished during the two friendlies. It was a draw with Tigres and then a 1-0 win over Chivas. So what did you do? Say again?
It was 4-0.
4-0. What did I see? What did I say? I don't know. I thought I saw one. I said one. That's what I thought I saw. So what do you think you accomplished other than me missing 3 goals? What did you accomplish during those 2 matches?
Yeah, like I said, I think we tried a few different things in terms of formation, but a lot of it was just to get players on the field that haven't seen time. So I think that going into those games, it was a lot of rotation in terms of that. A lot of starters didn't see as many minutes as maybe they have in the past or would be starters. So you just play with a different mix of players, but same ideas, same principles. It was just good to get players. And now going into the back end of the season, players are coming off minutes. So now everyone's sort of eager, and ready to go. So it's opened up the door for players to compete for more time and, give us a little bit of flexibility in terms of if we have to make some changes tactically, that we have a second formation that we can sort of set up in.
Is it in some ways like starting the season all over again?
Well, that's what the long break, it ended up feeling like a preseason. So we had to be careful, and especially at the time of year with the heat. So we ended up having to break it down. And, some of the players at times are like, man, this feels like a second preseason, and we had to maybe give an extra couple of days off just to break it up, because it is hard to go that long without a meaningful game. And we didn't want to have any burnout. So we ended up doing a good job of it. We gave them a couple of days off, even more so after the mandatory break. And but the players handled it great, staff handled it great, and it's definitely it's a weird dynamic for sure.
Yeah, you come back in 9th place in the standings, just 1 spot out of 8th, but you also come back off of 2 consecutive league wins. Obviously, you'd rather when you feel like you've got things going, you want to continue to play. How do you recapture what you had at the end of, we'll just call it the first half?
I think you just stay true to what you've been doing, and I think the positives of the 3 games in between, I think that helps. The energy and training has been fantastic. We haven't overdone it in terms of giving them too much information. But I would also say that, where we are in the standings, we did like a reculture yesterday just because it felt so long. We just tried to reestablish the standards, and we broke it down for some games that we broke it down for some games that didn't maybe go our way, so like Louisville and Bay and all that. And if you take those games and you go minimum points in those games, we're sitting in second place.
Right.
So we're not far off. So you just got to give the players and team that belief that if we stay true to who we are, we'll end up moving our way up, and that's what it's all about.
And the truth is that 18 points, you're actually even with Gotham FC.
Yeah.
It's just goal differential that has you in 8th place. What were I'm curious, I meant to ask you this before. What were the environments like with the 2 friendlies you played?
I thought Tigres was really good. That was part of the season ticket package, so we had more fans there. I think the second game was a little bit different. But the one thing I will say is that Mexican fans support their teams. And,
yes, they do.
I've said maybe you sign a major international Mexican name, maybe you get those fans in the stadium, right? But I'll tell you that the game against Chivas, we were sitting there like, this feels like an away game.
Yep.
Because there were so many fans there. That's not what you want, but that's just the passion that they have, right? And it's pretty cool to see, especially in the women's side. But I thought the Tigres environment was fantastic.
And I know this is not necessarily about the Cards, but I'm just curious your thoughts. The U.S. when the men's team plays Mexico, I don't care where they play them in the United States. Those are road games. How does U.S. soccer culture overcome that, or can't they?
I think it's just hard. It's not. Look, you look at I spent time in Spain and stuff like that. I've gone to games, and their team loses the game, it ruins their weekend. And kids are in tears, and it's just not something. It's just in our sport. It's not. It's the equivalent of baseball or football. It's just not ingrained in us. And whereas I think the way Europeans, and especially the Mexican fan base, because that's what we're comparing it to. That's who we play. It's for a lot. It's what they look forward to every single weekend, right? They're so engrossed by it. They're ingrained in the communities of their within their areas, and they can identify with players and stuff like that. And I think that's massive. I think the best way to put it, Adam, to be honest, was when Tigres came here. They were here for 24 hours, 36 hours, and they went to visit the Children's Hospital, and they gave out Tigres gear and stuff. And I'm like that just goes to show you, they put themselves out there, and I think that's what allows them to connect. And they also have the history behind it too, right? And they're a lot more established. But it's going to be hard for the American culture to get away from it and feel like a home game, an away game, because it's just the way it is, and it's just we have to do more to build that in terms of the whole country to get the U.S. soccer fan base on our side. And we forget just how. I mean, even if you brought MLS into the equation, we forget how. I mean, these are, fledgling leagues when you compare, especially internationally, to Europe. I mean, there's just no comparison. And we love sports, and we will get behind. Certainly, a winner makes it a lot easier. We'll get behind a winner, but we don't. Our parents didn't grow up with it. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and you look at it now, even with MLS, the stadiums are empty until Messi comes in place, right? It's the truth, and they're moving games into bigger stadiums just to benefit from it. But yet they go ahead and suspend them because you didn't want to play in an All-Star game after playing, in the club championships. But I think from that side of it, like you said, it's not something. We were raised on baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Football, like soccer, just started to pick up, I'd probably say, over the last 10 years or so in terms of the professional side of it. And the women's side, our women fan base is quite good. It's quite strong, and it's only going to get better. It just comes down to the consistency of it. And like you said, America is all about being number one. And if your team's not in first place, if you're not winning a championship every year, which is nearly impossible, people they don't want to be bothered, and that's something that's why you have to connect with them on the personal level in terms of making them feel like they're a part of the team, not just a part of the team when they win. And that's, I think, the biggest culture thing that we have to adjust to in this country. So you're home 2 of the next 3 weeks. This is the San Diego Wave. We won't talk about the last time that you guys played. But I know you're playing. You certainly you left the league playing well. You picked up a win and a draw in the 2 friendlies. Are you to the point where are you making any changes to your starting 11 or changes to your formation, or you just file things away for the future? Yeah, I think it's just on a day-to-day, on a weekend by weekend basis, based on things that we may see, and it's hard to. Like I said, we're not far off. So it's hard to make crazy changes when a couple of games here or there, you're sitting in second place. So, at the beginning of the year, we started in a different formation. It wasn't working. And we felt that the way our roster was built, we had to change it. And that's why we're in the shape that we're in now. So we don't want to go into panic mode yet, because we are still in a good spot. With second half of the season, this is where you want to be. And, teams will start to balance themselves. This is a grind this last, 12 weeks. So, no, we're comfortable with where we're at. We'll make changes as needed, but see how the games go. But each game will give us a different picture that we may have to adjust to. Saturday, 7:30, San Diego Wave. Then you're on the road Friday, and even though we're going to talk between now and then the following Saturday, also 7:30, home to the Portland Thorns. Sean Nahas, North Carolina Courage head coach, I appreciate your time, sir. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. Peace. Sean Nahas here on the Adam Gold Show. I ran out of time before I could have asked him about the women's Euros. England lost their first match to France.
right? I think we talked about it briefly. France was super, I thought, impressive in the event. But England lost their first match to France and then proceeded to win the event without really ever leading in matches. Bizarre. I think they led for like, what if I heard this correctly, like a little over a minute? Like they never led. Improbable comebacks en route to winning the Euros. Tremendous event and high-level football as well. All right, we have to rewind, and we will do that next.
From the heels,
touchdown, Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
As the health director in Haywood County and a nurse here in North Carolina, I can tell you that the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline saves lives.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available.
988 Lifeline counselors are ready 24/7 to speak with you, help you cope, and get you connected to the support that is right for you.
988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Call, text, or chat 988 24/7. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Experience a day of discovery at the world's largest natural habitat zoo located in Asheboro. North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens offers miles of shaded pathways, engaging activities and nature trails, and award-winning educational programming for all ages. Encounter wild animals, flourishing plants, and extraordinary beauty as you explore the ancient Uwharrie Mountains in the heart of North Carolina. Every visit helps save wildlife and wild places. Plan an unforgettable journey at nczoo.org.
Your child's doctor shares your goals, a healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most, your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
This is Adam Gold.
I have so many questions, too. Like, is the mom going to be in the business, too? Are we going to have, like, themed UNC products? She's in it, so...
Interesting ram horn you've got there.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria, producing the program. Remember earlier I said that Pat McAfee was doing a tour of training camps and whatnot, blah, blah, blah.
With sleeves.
Yeah. Today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he's wearing sleeves because he's not in Minneapolis. He's at the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, because tonight is the Hall of Fame game, which, if I'm not mistaken, if you are listening locally here in Raleigh, you get to listen on the radio. Football. So this morning, my wife and I were just talking about stuff, and I just mentioned, like, we have NFL football tonight. And she went, what? I said, yes. The National Football League has a game tonight, the Hall of Fame game. I said, it's the Chargers and the Lions, I believe. Now, I'm not 100% sure of that. I think it's the Chargers and Lions. And she said, who will be playing? Meaning which players? And I said, I'm not sure. I only know that there will be uniforms of the Chargers and Lions on the field. I have no idea who's going to be in them. Maybe you'll, excuse me, maybe you'll see a player you recognize. Maybe for the Chargers, we'll see former Tar Heel running back Amarian Hampton. I don't know. Again, no clue how teams handle these things. But, yeah, it starts. I guess the football season is upon us. And then the following weekend is the start of preseason football in the NFL. Right? And there's three games for each team. And then we get to the start of the season. There's a little bit of time, a little bit of a gap between the last preseason game and the first game of the regular season because it's the week after Labor Day, and I believe we're done with preseason football before the month of August is over. So, yeah, this is it. It starts tonight. Honestly, when we placed bets, and maybe I'll just throw one out there, we should have put a wager on this one.
Oh, I know. I didn't even look to see what the wagers would be.
Definitely should have totally forgot that we had NFL football tonight. Uniforms worn by the Chargers and Lions will play. Real quick before we rewind, I said I was going to do a podcast last night. We did. My friend Mike Solarte from Spectrum News in Charlotte jumped on, and we talked about the Jackson Blake contract and Logan Stankoven's contract. Talked about Keandre Miller. Just talked about the fact that if you look at the Carolina Hurricanes, and I'll get into a couple of things real quick here. If you look at the Hurricanes, they're $10.5 million under the cap right now for this season. And honestly, they have too many players. They've got, I think, 14 or 15 forwards. Might be 14. They've got 7 NHL defensemen. So, theoretically, there's no real room to add right now. I do think that we'll get somewhere in the season, and if Carolina sees an opportunity to add down the middle at center, I think they will. We talked to Eric Tulsky about this yesterday. But they've got super amounts of flexibility. And then you look to next year. The Hurricanes right now have 18 players under contract for next year. 18. The They have two of their, if we think everybody stays healthy, and we look at the opening night lineup, there are only two players on tonight's team, on opening night's team, that will need a contract to play the following year. Just two. One of them is Frederick Anderson, who's only got a 1-year deal, and the other is Alexander Nikishin. Everybody else has a contract already for next. So Eric Tulsky can stay on vacation.
Yeah.
He doesn't really vacation anyway.
No.
So the Hurricanes, and next year they'll have, I believe, about $16.5 million under the cap. Some of that will be taken up by a contract for Nikishin. Some of that will be taken up by another goalie, because maybe it'll be Freddie Anderson again. I honestly wouldn't put that past Carolina or Anderson. If he has a good year and he stays healthy, if he's healthy in the playoffs, plays well in the playoffs, fully expect Carolina to run that back. So they are set. And then after that season, so this would be the 06-07 season, 26-27 season, when you look to 27-28, the Hurricanes will have 4 more players. Stahl, Martinuk, Kochetkov, and I'm trying to remember, and Chatfield will be the all of the core players are signed for a long time. It is remarkable how many players are locked up long-term for Carolina. And by the way, for 27-28, they will be, as we sit right now, over $40 million under the cap.
Nice.
And not needing a lot of players. That obviously. So big splashes are in the offing for this team. They will go after big-time stars. We know that's what they're looking for. They will go big game hunting at some point, and maybe it'll work this time. It should have worked 2 years ago with Gensel. It didn't. It didn't work with Mikko Rantanen. But the Hurricanes, in terms of the way their salary allocation and their roster construction, man, remember when that window was closing?
Oh, yeah.
I remember hearing the window was closing.
Yep, shutting it down.
We've taken the window out.
Yeah.
It's wide open, and it will be for 4 years, 5 years. And then who knows, these young guys coming up. And could Bradley Nadeau do a Jackson Blake in this preseason and basically force his way onto the roster? Yeah, theoretically he could. He could do that. See how it plays out. But Carolina has a lot of very good options for them. And that's just absolutely awesome. I would say that I think Jalen Chatfield is part of the core of this team, and I would not be shocked at all if he has a good year this year that they won't let it get to the end of the next contract, and they'll extend him after this season. So July 1, 26, I wouldn't be shocked if we're announcing a Jalen Chatfield contract extension, like another 3 years for maybe double what he's got now. Maybe even, who knows.
And he just got married.
He did. Congratulations. Looked very sharp.
I know.
Yeah.
Looked great.
White tuxedo jacket. Very,
Liked
very
it.
sharp. Good look. All right. Let's rewind. Let's start with UNC football. Adam Smith from Inside Carolina joined us on the program. Always a fun conversation. And we were all down there on Thursday for the circus that was Bill Belichick's first appearance at an ACC Football Media Days. And I asked Adam Smith what he made of the Q&A.
Well, I mean, it I felt like it was pretty much it went pretty much as you might expect.
Yeah.
I mean, Belichickian is a word that I've used before. He will. It's interesting the especially for someone like me who's sort of in on the ground floor with this. It's interesting to sort of try to get to know him from a reporter standpoint, given all that you know about him and his reputation and all that. I actually asked him down there in Charlotte how he introduces himself to people.
I heard that question. I enjoyed that answer. I mean? Yeah.
Because everyone already knows and everybody already has but he will answer a question if you ask him. It is just going to be in his very Bill Belichick style. It is not going to contain a huge range of emotion. It's going to be in that, what would you say, monotone type way. But he will give you an answer. You just kind of have to listen. It's not going to be theatrical like Mac Brown. It's going to be very different. Everything is very different, as you're very well aware.
Yeah, it's funny talking to the players about that. You could tell that they, like the guys that we talked to, they went from Grandpa Mac, and I'm not being disparaging at all to anybody. Sure. And by the way, I'll backtrack with the first question in a second. To what they're dealing with right now, which is Bill Belichick, pro coach, has seen everything that there is to see in the sport, and a very business-like approach to what is going on. They have really gone from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I think it'll be interesting and fascinating to figure out how all of these guys respond to it. I would imagine Steve Logan used to talk about NFL football as like grad school to a lot of these guys, because these guys want to learn. It'll be cool to watch a lot of these college kids and how they absorb the institutional knowledge that Belichick has.
Yeah, and the recruits too, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hilarious to see him posing with the recruits. If you think about it, it's still mind blowing, even though we're 8 or 9 months into this thing. And I mean, you're talking about. I mean, the man has coached nearly 50 years on the NFL level, but he's never coached a college football game.
Right.
He think about all the things he's done: the 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as an assistant. I think it's 333 career wins in the NFL.
Yeah.
Still, come Labor Day night, it will be the first time he has coached a college football game. So, I was telling Victoria I need to get my mind right. I've got to buckle up for this because it's coming here. I mean, training camp starts Saturday morning.
Yep.
So we'll be off and running.
Yeah, and the first game is, 3 weeks from Monday, right? No, 4 weeks from Monday. The first
September
game.
1st, Labor Day night.
Yep. Carolina TCU at Kenan Stadium, Labor Day evening. Remember, ESPN will have basically all of Bristol for the pregame show, which starts at 7 o'clock. Now, the other reason I wanted to talk to Adam today, because it was his story in Inside Carolina that was aggregated by, basically across the college football media landscape, that Carolina was looking for a move to the SEC. Now, if you read the story, as I did, the story was really more about, when the next wave of expansion hits, but that's not the way it was framed by the aggregating media. They framed it as, Carolina's going to jump to the SEC. Like, we're years away from that. But I talked to Adam about it. I know he's not surprised by the reaction, but I am curious how different a place we are now than we were maybe a year ago.
Well, yes is the answer, and super cheap. I love your use of super cheap, about like my stenciling. $75 million being super cheap on the exit fee.
To universities, they can raise that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and I know some people. UNC has been sort of, if you're paying attention, they've been sort of telegraphing this from for a couple years now. But to answer your question, yes, it is different now because that settlement that Clemson and FSU reached with the ACC, or the ACC reached with them, however you view it, it has provided UNC with a path, a clearer path in terms of a way to get out if they want to get out. And I don't think I think this is going to be a very emotional decision for some people around there that make these decisions, because as you very well know, Carolina is a founding member of the ACC. They were there in 1953 in the smoke-filled room at Sedgefield Inn.
Right.
When the lore began. But the settlement is huge. They've sort of allowed, this is my opinion, they've sort of allowed Clemson and FSU to make the most noise and sort of make a mess of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, in my opinion, sort of been sitting back and just, clocking the whole thing and taking notes and formulating some ideas here. And the fact that the grant of rights, the media deal that John Swofford, as you know, locked in years ago, that has been viewed as ironclad is always the word you hear about it. The fact that has gone away is huge. I think Florida State estimated when these dueling lawsuits and all the legal stuff began, I'm pretty sure they estimated that it would cost them $530 million to leave the league. Well, that's not going to be the cost anymore. It's going to go down. It's a decreasing exit fee. If you left in this coming school year, which no one is going to do, it'd be $165 million. It goes down $18 million every year. So I think if you're talking about we're last day of July 2025. If you're talking about July 2024, things have changed. And it's all about the money. I got my neighbors around here, ask me, like, why? I don't want that. And it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Mac used to have a great line. He used to have a great line that he would tell the people close to him that the faculty at UNC, the academics, would prefer to go to the Big Ten.
Yep.
And all of the fans would prefer to go to the SEC, which I always thought was interesting.
Adam Smith from Inside Carolina. First of all, just a couple of things. The number that Florida State or Clemson or anybody would likely have to come up with if you were going to leave the league now, and I guess this is before the settlement. Now the settlement has eliminated that. But the number really was a lot closer to $700 million than it was $500 million. 500 was really a low estimate. So I do believe the number was really close, a lot closer to $700 million, maybe even in excess of it. But we don't have to worry about that now. And the honest answer is that if the number was what it is now, like this roughly $170 million to leave, if the number was that 2 years ago, I think Florida State and Clemson might have left 2 years ago. But there are certain realities that you have to consider when you are making these types of decisions. And the first reality is, because what Adam said there at the end is the only consideration ever given. The chancellor, like Lee Roberts, the new chancellor at UNC, said very recently, after complimenting the Atlantic Coast Conference and how proud UNC is to be a founding member, and we love the league, blah, blah, blah. In the next sentence, he said, of course, we will always make decisions for what's best for the University of North Carolina. And by not tacking on the ACC is what's best for the University of North Carolina, obviously tips the hand that, hey, If the SEC or the Big Ten offer up an invitation, we are going to take it whenever that time comes. And they'll come up, even if it was now, they would come up with the $170 or so million to do that. Absolutely, in a minute. These decisions are never going to be about fans or athletes. Never. They're always going to be about how much money can we make. There's actually a pretty interesting article written, I believe, on theassembly.com about how Carolina is looking to monetize the Kenan Stadium with a title sponsor, possibly the Dean Smith Center with a title sponsor, Carmichael, uniforms, all trying to raise the money that will be used in revenue sharing to pay the athletes. How long have I been saying it? We had a promo running for a while. If I were UNC, I would sell 10-yard increments of the field, and I would paint those 10 yards in the color of the company. Like, regardless of the company, if it was Subway, the 10-yard line, the 10 to the goal line would be that ridiculous green and yellow thing. Right, at one end. We'd do Jimmy John's at the other end. Right, I would consider selling everything.
Should.
It's about revenue. We can't stand on ceremony. Oh, the tradition and culture. No, has nothing to do with that. And schools are leaving behind rivalries, long-standing rivalries, because it just doesn't fit with the economic model that they're now in. Nebraska, Oklahoma used to be one of the most watched college football games every year. It was the game on the final weekend that you might have watched over Ohio State, Michigan. And they rarely play each other now. Victoria, thank you very much for all of your efforts today. I am Adam Gold. We will see you tomorrow.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Here's how you know the Bill Belichick hype is through the roof. At ACC Media Kickoff, Dabo Swinney, one of the most popular, famous coaches in the country, was walking around giving interviews, and almost no one was following him. That's because every media member was up at Bill Belichick's press conference hoping for just a few seconds of audio from the UNC coach.